guys, what's up? It's Katie Candy and the Droker here with a very special Halloween episode of From Comics to Cinemas podcast. For those of you who don't know, we are gamers on Twitch, and you can see the links to those channels in the description of this podcast and at the end of the podcast. So be sure to drop us a follow. Now, we are huge comic book nerds, and that's kind of what became the breadth or the beginning of this podcast, I should say. So remember, you can catch the live recording of this show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in, well, not so much the Candyland Discord anymore.
No, we're switching it up.
We're switching it up, but more on that later. So, and then you can obviously catch the upload every Friday morning on a bunch of different platforms. I can speak.
Almost.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to be taking two of our favorite spooky, or maybe not so spooky, depending on how it looks, characters from two different comics, and well, not necessarily, well, yeah, comics, whatever, and kind of talking about them briefly, because this is going to be a short episode because, well, I love Halloween, and we thought it would be fun to do a Halloween episode, right? Why not? So I am going to let Droker go first.
Oh, okay. So I decided for my Halloween character that I want to talk about was, I think it was too on brand, maybe on point, on the nose, but I picked Deadman because I recently picked up this comic from a local con. And
I love that you have the comic right there.
Yeah, and he was also on the cover of this, which was DC's Terror Through Time special, which also features a Deadman story. So I recommend picking this up. This is a really nice Halloween read. It's like 5 or 6 stories, like all kind of throughout the DC universe, all happening on Halloween. It's kind of cool, honestly. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. I kind of got it for the cover, to be honest. So they got me with that the 80s like VHS like variant cover. I couldn't not get it in Harley Quinn like with shopping bags.
Oh yeah, how could you not?
Like, yeah, it's a good cover, man. So, but it ended up being a pretty decent book. But yeah, so Deadman, Boston Brand, man, he basically Nightwing. If Nightwing had died instead of the Flying Grayson's parents, yeah, he was. I don't know what DC's hate is against trapeze artists, but DC really hates trapeze artists. Like, they just like, don't be a trapeze artist in the DC universe, and you're probably gonna live. Let's be honest.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so he's from Gotham for the most part. He has a couple of different origins because what comic book character doesn't have many origins? I mean, he's been around since 1967. So that's
a while.
Kind of a long time. Strange Adventures 205 was his first appearance. Carmine Infantino and Arnold Drake are credited with the creation. And this number one in particular is like a culmination of a bunch of like origin, like little stories and origins. So basically, he's trapeze artist. He gets killed by an assassin. Later, it's written that it's League of Assassins, League of Shadows assassin. That kills him, and the god Rama Kushna is like, you know what? You were kind of a jerk when you were alive. You were a raging alcoholic, a womanizer. You stole, like you're selfish. So here's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna go to the afterlife. You're gonna stay in the in between, and you're gonna like atone for your sins, kind of thing.
I like it.
Yeah, so he basically, and the reason why he looks like that little white like kind of situation going on is that's like his getup that he wore when he died. So that's what he appeared like in the afterlife. He wore a white mask and the red. It's almost like a disco dick suit, but just red. All red. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's got the big collar. Like, it's definitely reminiscent of that kind of stylistic choice or whatever. More importantly, he had a really big role in Brightest Day, which was a storyline we've mentioned a couple times in this podcast. It comes after Blackest Night in DC, 2 pivotal story arcs. He is basically the interim White Lantern until they find a White Lantern like replacement. He poor guy, he keeps dying and he gets resurrected and then he dies again. He has a love interest, which is Hawk. If you know Hawk and Dove, he's like in a relationship with Hawk, and constantly they get, or excuse me, Dove. I've got that backwards. Dove. Whoopsie. Got that backwards. He's in a relationship with Dove, and oh man, yeah, and that just derailed me. Sorry.
Us get derailed? Never.
Because I'm thinking of like the original Hawk and Dove, which was 2 dudes originally, and then it got rewritten to be male and female, a pair. Sorry, so it gets confusing. I'm sorry. So yeah, he has actually got a relationship with Dove, and they've got like this weird. got a weird relationship. I don't want to go into really too much details. It gets kind of strange topics to talk about because like he uses his different bodies for relationship purposes. Because he can possess people living anybody living, with the exception of a few, which he can still possess Bruce, but not for very long. Because people with really strong like mental fortitude, he can't really possess for a long time. Um, but for the most part, he can pretty much possess anybody, which is kind of a very very powerful thing, especially in this universe. Anything living is not just like humans. Like he can possess Superman. He's possessed like I forget his name, but he's got like a green skull, flaming skull. He's appeared multiple times in the JLA animated stuff. I highly recommend it. He's a Justice League Dark member, especially from the new 52 stuff. Blah. He's just a fun character in the animated series. Sometimes because his name is Boston Brand. He's depicted as having like a really strong Boston accent, even though he's from Gotham. It so it's really funny. He's a great character. Him and Bats have a lot of like, um, they have a lot of like adventures together. It's really cool, man. I don't know. He's a really good bridge between like the mainstream DC superheroes because he has run-ins with all of them, and then like the really like dark and gritty side of DC, which me and we talked about. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
love.
Oh
So
yeah.
like he constantly rubs elbow with Constantine and like Zatanna and Bats and all these people. So and he's a ghost. It's cool. He's like a literal ghost. Eh, well,
He's
and
a
except for
literal dead
yeah,
man.
yeah, he's a literal dead man. So it's just like really on the nose. Come on, the '60s they were like, "What are we gonna call him? What is he? He died. Okay, he's dead man. My job is done. Like I'm going on break." Like, but yeah, he's got such an important. I don't want to go into too much details for anybody who wants to read Brightest Day, but he's actually like extremely important. It's a pretty heavy story for him. You kind of feel for the guy, but he gets the White Lantern ring, which is really cool and really powerful. So you
That's
kind of get
really
like,
cool.
yeah, it's really cool. But the guy really can't catch a break, and that's kind of like his lesson to be learned in life is like he was such a jerk. He's not going to catch a break in the afterlife. That's kind of like what it is. Um, but yeah, he kind of accepts it in some stories, and some stories he doesn't accept it. He like fights it. He's a great character. I like him a lot. He's kind of an unsung hero, no pun intended, of like DC universe. Because he's kind of a one off. Not many people. There's not like it's not he's. I don't know how to explain it. He always is. He's always in team ups when he's on the big screen or he's on like animated stuff. It's never like a Dead Man animated movie. It's like Justice League Dark or Justice League and Justice League Dark or some Halloween special is usually what it comes across. Same thing with like Phantom Stranger. Like it's like Halloween specials. So he's cool. I like him. Definitely something worth. And the series is drawn by the late great Neil Adams. So if you're a cover artist seeker, that's definitely something to chase. And he actually did the penciling. I think after Infantino stopped doing the penciling for this, he took over and started
Oh,
doing it. So
very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. He actually I think halfway through the series started doing it. So
Cool.
yeah, he's mine. That's my choice, and yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Very cool. So, I went probably somewhere that no one saw coming. And I did this for two reasons. One, because it's a tie in with one of my favorite comic characters. And two, because Jonathan Big Haas has been asking for this for
Oh
a long time. So I figured, what better time than Halloween to do a little brief summary on Hellcow?
yes, dude! Finally.
Finally, someone is talking about Hellcow. So why not,
I
right?
love it. I love it. It was when I DM'd her and when she DM'd me back who she picked, I was just like, yes, absolutely, yes.
So for those of you who don't know, Hellcow was actually, her name was Bessie, which I
Yeah,
know, so stereotypical for a cow, right? But back in like the 1670s, she was bitten by Dracula, who, for those of you who haven't figured it out, that's one of my favorite comic characters. But anyways, so Dracula was going through this little village, small village, and all the people were in their homes, and their homes were boarded up. And of course, he wasn't invited, so he couldn't just like go in and, you know. So he found this cow, fed off the cow. The farmer found her, drained of all her blood, and actually like buried her and gave her like a little tombstone and everything. And then 3 days later, Bessie rose from the grave. Now, what's really funny is Bessie, well, we'll call her Hellcow from now on, right? So Bessie actually got staked by Howard the Duck and was seemingly dead, but because Howard didn't, and this was in Cleveland, mind you, so she came across the pond, so to speak, in her search for Dracula because she wanted to kind of end him for what he did, what he created, or turned her into, I should say. But anyway, so she was staked through the heart by Howard the Duck, but Howard the Duck never removed her head, so she lived on, and then she teamed up with Daredevil, and then double-crossed Daredevil and Spider-Man and or not Daredevil, excuse me, Deadpool. I'm sorry, I didn't mean Daredevil, I meant Deadpool. She teamed up with Deadpool, and it's actually kind of funny in this because she walks out into sunlight after everything is all said and done and just like turns into a hamburger patty instead of dust. Because she's a cow. So then Deadpool, trying to save her, goes back 60 times to try to save her, and he finally stakes her through the heart and just keeps her inside until it's nighttime.
Heck?
Yeah.
What the actual heck? I can't with this Deadpool panel. Oh my goodness.
So here's the thing: is no one really knows where she got the cape, Brandon, but the cape allows her to, it like turns into bat wings and allows her to fly.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Stop it.
I mean, it's great, right? Like, how good is she for Halloween? Like, it's silly. She's silly and terrifying all at the same time. She can turn into mist, which helps her like avoid. Yeah.
So one could say she could turn into evaporated milk.
Wow. But yes. Oh, and this is even better too. So, while she's teamed up with Deadpool, Dr. Kilgore actually tries to kidnap her and drinks her vampiric milk in hoping that it would cure his tuberculosis.
For TB? Dude, that's a little extreme. Like, even for a comic book universe. I've got TB. You know what'll help me? Vampiric milk. It just sounds weird saying it.
It does. And it does. But yeah. So there's a lot of fourth wall breaking with Deadpool, you know, running back through the pages 60 times and trying to save her. So it's actually kind of funny. Like, I mean, but that's why I figured Hellcow deserved a Halloween episode, at least.
What a ridiculous origin! I love it, and I'm with B on this one. Like now, I gotta look out for Hellcow stuff. I kind of have to. Well,
she does team up. So she obviously teams up with Deadpool and his WMD fencing group, Deadpool Inc. And then there she has some interaction with Man-Thing. So
ooh, that could be fun.
Yeah, so you know it's kind of fun, and the whole Howard the Duck story is kind of funny too because he actually takes like two wrenches or he takes a wrench that's in like the shape of a cross, and it actually keeps her at bay.
because Howard the Duck reasons.
Yeah, because Howard the Duck reasons. So, but yeah, it's highly entertaining.
I'm definitely gonna have to look into this now. Like I've always known, because like Hellcow, because there's always if you guys play Diablo, there's the whole
Mhm.
secret cow level thing and everything that goes on. So like you kind of hear about this whole demonic cow thing, but the fact that it actually exists in Marvel is just great.
And
It's
the
just
fact
great.
that like because in so much like vampiric lore and all of that, like they don't ever feed off animals, and when they do, like the animals just die, like they don't
Yeah.
turn. And here is a cow turning into a vampire.
Uh,
And she does prey on people. Like that's what caught the attention of Howard the Duck, and like he wanted to be part of the Cleveland Police Department, so he was like, I'm gonna solve this mystery of why this person
mm,
died. And yeah,
turned out to be Hellcow.
it turned out to be Hellcow.
Interesting.
So you've got like a bunch of obscure characters all together. What could go wrong? Nothing.
I,
Hilarity.
I'm gonna
And
have to
I
go grab some Hellcow
also
comics.
like low key would love to see like this is like a Deadpool special where he like goes back 60 times to try to save Hellcow.
Oh my god, that would be great. Oh, that would actually be really funny. I would watch that.
Right? Every minute is just another attempt. There you've got a whole hour long thing.
Confirmed for Deadpool 3. I don't know, man. We got what a speaking of what a great like last like few months for comic book news, man.
We should.
We got Wolverine coming back.
We got Wolverine coming back.
Yeah.
We
And it's
got
confirmed he's gonna be in the suit. It's gonna be in the yellow suit,
he's
which
gonna be in the suit, which is fantastic because we need to see him in the suit.
yes.
Right? We've got Cavill coming back as Soups.
Yep.
We've got an actual like head of DC Studios.
Was announced. They got
Mhm.
co-CEOs now of DC Studios now.
And I
Which is
couldn't be more happy about it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about it too, and maybe the Peacemaker episode about James Gunn should
Hmm.
probably take the lead on DC. I think we talked about that as
Hmm.
like a hypothetical, and I'm so happy they did that.
I am too.
I really am, because and it's funny because the other guy I didn't know who he was. Peter, I forget his name. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I should know his name. He is the guy who did Aquaman and
Yeah.
like Shazam. So I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
put them in charge.
So, and it makes sense too, right? Because then you'll basically have like Gunn doing a lot of the TV stuff. And I
Hmm.
think his name is Safran or
Yeah,
Safran,
yeah.
something like that. Peter Safran or something like that. He'll be
Mhm.
doing probably a lot of the movie stuff, is what I am assuming.
Yeah, it would seem so, they released a statement that there was, like, the Trinity, but they also off mentioned Harley Quinn moving
Hmm.
forward too, but I know that's a James Gunn thing because I
Oh
know he
yeah.
really likes that character. I think he's got an affinity for that
Oh,
character.
he 100% does. That's
Um, yeah, and then yeah, exactly. Then we got we got Jonathan Majors finally appearing
as Kang
in as the Kang in the
in the
armor,
suit.
in the
Yeah.
suit, in the actual suit, which I was actually super excited about because he looks good.
Oh, Jonathan Majors, he looks so good.
He was so good. I was like, "Oh, that's yes."
And we got, I don't know if you saw it yet or not, the teaser for the Guardians holiday special.
We got the holiday special and a terrible bob cut on Wasp. But yes, the holiday special looks
It looks
fantastic.
hilarious. Like
Yeah,
Mantis and Drax try.
yeah.
Okay, I'm about to do a huge spoiler, so if you haven't watched it yet, plug your
Wee woo,
ears.
wee woo.
Mantis and Drax trying to kidnap Kevin Bacon? Hello?
Yeah, come on. Could it sounds so dumb, but, like, yes, I wanna see this.
Oh, 100%. I'm so like, I was like, I'm really excited for this because
I
this
absolutely wanna
looks
see this.
just like full of hilarity that I
Yeah.
am 100% down for.
Yeah, and then we also got an introduction to, I forget her name, Lang, the child Lang, who's gonna be she's
Cassie.
like a yeah, she's Cassie, thank you. She's like a new Avenger. So
Mhm. Which they are building towards that. If you think about it,
yeah, yeah.
we've got her, we've got Kate Bishop.
Mhm,
So and now and
mhm.
so yeah, we're building towards the new Avengers for
We've got
sure.
a
We got
bunch of
Ms.
stuff that happened.
Marvel. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and there's have you seen the theory that Shang-Chi's rings,
Yes.
Ms. Marvel's bracers, and the Quantum Mania little realm or
Mhm.
whatever are the same, like, they're connected.
Yes.
It's very, very interesting theory.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen it out there, go Google it. It's pretty wild.
Technically, we have Patriot as well, correct.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sorry, blonde, mhm,
You're so
yep.
pretty.
Sometimes I pay attention. I was listen. I don't wanna talk about it. I don't wanna I don't wanna talk about it. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait for all this to come out. This is gonna be fantastic for DC fans moving forward. They can keep momentum. Black Adam was fantastic. I
Mhm.
loved it. I thought it was I thought it was I went there I went to a movie theater literally by myself. I was like, "I'm gonna go watch this," like, I told myself it was for the podcast, but it was really just because like, it was, like, my last breath of hope for DC, and I just really wanted to get it over with and kinda just rip the Band-Aid off if it was gonna be terrible. Like, that was quite literally the reason. I was like, "All right, first night, let's go get ahead of this." Like, let's just I went, like, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to go see it, and it ended up being great, and I was like,
That's
"Man,
awesome.
this was really good. I did not expect it to be this good." Like,
So, so me and Mama Candy are gonna go see it on
oh,
Thursday.
you guys are gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
excited because
yeah.
I'm gonna go straight from work to the theater.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was yeah, this is pretty much what I did. I went home, changed clothes, got a ticket online, and then went there, and, which, by the way, movie tickets, what the heck? They're
Oh
like
yeah, they're
$12 now. What? It
oh yeah, big expensive now.
I might have to do that, AMC thing subscription, but,
I thought about doing that for as much movies as we're gonna be seeing.
literally the same, that was my thought. I was like, "It's I can go up to 3 times a week, like, that's kind of worth it to me."
Mhm.
Plus I can go see what I wanna see too besides comic book stuff. Because sometimes you need a break.
Yeah.
I know, it's like blasphemy, but sometimes you
You
just need a break from
sometimes you
comic
just
book
need a
stuff.
break, right? And you need to
Yeah.
go see like some really good horror movie. Which by the way, I
Yeah.
watched The Black Phone. Loved it.
Oh, really?
Yes, with Ethan
Okay,
Hawke. Very good.
okay. His acting's been on point lately.
He plays a really creepy villain.
The he
I mean, he was creepy in Moon Knight, right?
he was so creepy and I was like, stop talking like that, man. Get the glass out of your shoes. What are you doing? What's wrong with you?" You're getting old and you're getting creepy, and I kind of like it, but also I'm scared.
And I watched Halloween Ends, and I was like, why? It was
Uh,
bad. So
yeah,
bad. So dumb.
I find myself, and I don't know why I'm this way. I have no reason to be this way, but I don't really like a lot of the new horror movies. It takes literally somebody
Mhm.
like you telling me, like, "Hey, was a good one. Go check it out." I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'll check it out." I stick to the old ones. Like I stick to the tried trues and like the old classics. I don't know. It just and I'm kind of like with CB in that boat. Like some movies just frustrate the hell out of me. Like it took a while for me to really come around to Scream.
Well, here's the thing too, is like
And I love Scream now, but it took a while.
slasher movies, you always have the stupid people that you're like, why are you running up the stairs? Run out the front door. Hello? Like it's like that commercial where they're like the kids are like all hiding and they're like, we should hide over here. Let's hide here. And she's like, why don't we
Yeah,
get in the running
yeah,
car? And it's like, and she's like, let's hide over behind the
yeah. I love that.
chainsaws.
Yep, I love
Right?
that.
Like that is a slasher movie
Yeah,
to a T.
yeah,
So, but and that's why I always like more of the psychological thrillers and kind of like
yeah,
the more creepy stuff like Sinister and the Conjuring universe
yeah.
and
That's good stuff.
all of that those kind of things. So, remember when we we watched La Llorona?
Yeah, that was. You know what's funny is I actually thinking back on it, I was like, you know what? I actually did like that movie. It was actually pretty
That was a
entertaining.
good one.
It's pretty entertaining. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Black Adam and some other creepy Halloween movies this weekend.
Ooh, honorable mention to the whole Crypt. I think it's Crypt of Shadows Marvel comic that's out right now.
Oh,
It's
yes.
basically it's Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, Man Thing on the cover. If you guys haven't seen it, I would recommend grabbing it. My comic shop didn't have it. Talk about that another time, but, maybe they'll have it this week. I don't know. They're, like, literally a week behind the rest of the United States, so hopefully they'll have it and I'll be able to grab it, but it was pretty much the same thing as, like, I think, like, the DC Through Time Terror thing. It's like a Halloween special, so, yeah, another thing you guys should definitely go check out.
Yeah,
It's a
and
pretty
that
cool.
has Blade's daughter in it.
Oh, yes, right, I forgot
Mhm,
about that, it does.
mhm,
So, if you're a key collector, you
mhm.
might wanna grab that.
Might want to.
Might wanna might wanna Also, I think this week, if you're a Star Wars collector, there was, an issue with 12 first appearances.
Oh.
Yeah, the High Republic, I think. Star
Mm.
Wars. Yeah, that which is like a ridiculous amount of first appearances, but yeah, whatever.
Actually, that's a really good point. So, if you guys want to know what we're talking about, in the Candyland Discord, there is a channel called the Dark Lords Pages where
Mhm.
various comics are posted. So, if you're looking for something, chances are, if
Definitely a
you're
good place to yeah, to look.
definitely a good place to look. And if it was mentioned here on the podcast, it's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah, and we're constantly dropping pictures, so if you're paying
Hmm.
attention to that channel quite a bit, you can pretty much tell what I'm gonna be talking about coming up because I'm gonna be posting pictures about it as I'm reading about it, so,
Exactly.
um
And I love to just throw a curveball like Hellcow.
yeah, Hellcow was a good one. I again, I thought Deadman was gonna be too on the nose, but when am I ever gonna get really a chance to talk about Deadman again besides Halloween? Honestly,
Exactly.
like,
Never.
even though I said they only use him for Halloween specials, we're gonna use him for Halloween specials, so, it's the meta now. Get wrecked, Deadman, you're a Halloween character now.
And who
No,
knows? Maybe we'll do a Christmas special
oh
because technically
oh, man, that's right.
Santa is a
That's right.
mutant in the Marvel
That's right. In the
universe.
Marvel universe, he's a mutant.
Mhm.
In Futurama, he's is it Futurama? He's a evil robot.
I feel like that's probably
I feel like it's
Futurama.
Futurama.
I
Yeah, I
feel
think it
like
is.
that's Futurama.
Oh, man.
So, but this episode is going to be short and sweet, so I don't have anything else to add. Droker, do you have anything else?
No, get out there and get some Halloween comics.
Get some Halloween comics, have a lot of fun, watch some scary movies, or if you're not into that, watch whatever movies you want to watch, some fall movies. I don't know. I'm not into the whole Hallmark fall love story
Oh,
thing.
come on. They're always under, like,
No.
some really nice oak tree, and it's got, like not oak tree, what is that? Maple tree, and it's like the leaves are falling.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. And we definitely will not be speaking of Taylor Swift. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Have a
Have a
happy,
good night.
happy Halloween. Remember, you can catch the live recording of this From Comics to Cinemas podcast every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in a special Discord coming
Special Discord.
soon. Coming soon,
Yeah.
which maybe we should announce that. You know what? Let's announce that
Right at the end? Let's
right at
do
the
it.
end. So, for those of you who don't know, we are now, which is everyone, haha, there is going to be an official From Comics to Cinemas Discord. So be
Yep.
on the lookout for that. You can always catch it on the Twitter handle. I'm sure it will
Yep.
be posted there. But thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys soon for
Get ready.
season 3. Have a happy Halloween, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your whatever. Bye.